EastEnders delivered a shocking development in Kojo Asare's ongoing drug plot. Fans already know that Harry and Okie have been using Kojo's apartment as a base for Ravi's criminal dealings. Kojo's safety was already at risk when Okie slipped him drugs last month, leaving his brother George to discover him confused and stumbling in the square. Since that moment, George has grown more and more wary of Harry and Okie's involvement, even though Kojo keeps insisting everything is fine. In Monday's episode, George secretly grabbed a copy of Kojo's key after catching sight of Okie going inside. Although he didn't uncover any proof of wrongdoing, George still demanded access to his brother's flat. Soon after, Harry informed Ravi about George's growing doubts, prompting Ravi to make a chilling promise to deal with George directly. By the following night, Ravi and Okie were questioning Harry about George's work schedule, hinting they wanted to teach him a harsh lesson. Meanwhile, at the pub, George weighed up Phil's proposal to commentate on a boxing tour. Gina objected, but Harry encouraged him to accept. Later, Harry met with Ravi and revealed George was suffering from CTE, warning that a single blow could be fatal. Ravi coldly replied that their plan for George was already set, and the enforcers would simply knock him down for a while. Harry then rang Kojo, urging him to convince George to take the boxing job. After speaking with his brother, George showed up at the Arches to announce his decision to go on the tour. As he left Walford, Ravi and Harry watched him closely. Back at Kojo's flat, Harry returned home to find Ravi and Okie waiting, with Kojo visibly shaken. The pair ordered Kojo to carry drugs up to Luton. Harry volunteered to take the trip himself, but they insisted it had to be Kojo. Once Kojo retreated to his room, Okie explained to Harry that as long as Kojo was seen helping their operation, he'd be protected, though the warning carried a darker undertone. Harry went to reassure Kojo, convincing him he was doing the right thing by making the run. Later on, Harry was drinking in the pub when Ravi arrived. Shortly after, Okie returned from the trip without Kojo. Okie claimed that police swarmed the area, forcing him to split from Kojo and escape alone. A panicked Harry stormed out of the pub, leaving Ravi and Okie behind. But where is Kojo now, and what further danger lies ahead with Ravi and Okie pulling the strings? Stacey's kind gesture for grieving Zoe as the ice thaws between the Slaters in EastEnders. The Slaters are no strangers to family drama, but this week in EastEnders, a quiet yet powerful act could signal a turning point. As Zoe struggles with mistrust and fractured bonds, Kat takes it upon herself to make a heartfelt gesture toward her estranged daughter, with Stacey playing a key role in bringing it to life. Kat asks Stacey to help her plant a memorial tree in memory of Zoe's late child. Still carrying her grief and keeping much of her history hidden, Zoe has no idea about the surprise. But the touching tribute might be the first step toward mending their broken relationship. Since Zoe's surprising comeback to Walford, the Slaters have been cautious around her. Kat, Alfie, and Stacey have all noticed her secrecy. Whenever questions are raised about her life away from the square, Zoe deflects, which only adds fuel to their doubts. Though she insists she's innocent, her guarded replies spark more suspicion than clarity. Her presence has unsettled the family dynamic, and with emotions running high, trust has become fragile. Complicating matters further, Sharon's return brings another layer of tension. Seeing Zoe again catches her off guard, and she makes no attempt to hide her unease. While Vicky and Zach are delighted to see Zoe back, Sharon resolves to bury the past and remain civil. But after Zoe and Vicky's heated clash escalates, Sharon storms to the Vic to confront Zoe directly. Their meeting is just as fiery as expected. Harsh words fly, and Zoe delivers a shocking revelation that leaves Sharon shaken. Refusing to believe it, Sharon lashes out, forcing Kat to step in and eject both Sharon and Vicky from the pub to protect her daughter. Bruised by the confrontation and feeling even more isolated, Zoe remains unwilling or unable to open up. Later, Sharon vents to Ian and Kathy, who try to comfort her, though Ian warns her not to take anything Zoe says at face value. Meanwhile, Zoe's earlier fight with Vicky continues to ripple through the square. Tensions boiled over when Vicky, weighed down by her own struggles, lashed out at Zoe. The row turned physical until Zach and Anthony intervened, though Zach ended up caught in the scuffle himself. With tempers flaring and secrets piling up, the Slater household is hanging by a thread. Yet Kat, true to her role as matriarch, is determined to keep her family from breaking apart. Believing actions speak louder than words, she chooses to honor Zoe's loss in a symbolic way, by planting a tree for the daughter she mourns. The gesture is steeped in compassion, showing Zoe that no matter the distance between them, she isn't alone in her grief. Kat turns to Stacy to make the surprise possible. Understanding the silence that grief can bring, Stacy agrees, knowing all too well what it's like to carry such pain. Whether this moment of empathy will be enough to bring Zoe closer is uncertain. The mystery of her years away still lingers, and with Sharon on edge and Vicky reeling, emotions are ready to erupt. But in a week filled with suspicion and hostility, Kat's attempt to reach out and Stacy's quiet support could be the spark that shifts everything. EastEnders fans fear Joel Marshall's storyline will take dark turn after scary scene. EastEnders fans are convinced Joel Marshall's arc is about to take a chilling turn after a tense scene at the end of tonight's episode. Viewers were left deeply uneasy for Vicky Fowler, who found herself cornered by her stepson Joel in a moment that many described as scary. Since arriving in Walford earlier this year, the troubled teen has stirred up nothing but chaos with his toxic behavior and sexist views. With his dad Ross often away for work, Vicky has been left to manage Joel on her own, and things are spiraling quickly. In yesterday's installment, Vicky discovered Joel and Tommy had bunked off school to attend a Drake Zagan event. She and Kathy tracked them down and tried to drag them home, only to be met with hostility from Joel and the crowd there. By tonight, Vicky had reached breaking point and turned to Julie, a teacher with 3 decades of experience, for help. But when Julie confronted him, Joel sneered that feminism was a joke. All women are asked to do is respect themselves, and most of them can't even manage that, he added, before ranting about his own mother's infidelity and insisting his hatred for women wasn't rooted in that betrayal. After offering Vicky some advice and asking her to keep her updated, Julie left. But things took a darker turn once Joel returned home and came face to face with Vicky. "She thinks she's so smart," he spat, before cruelly mocking Nigel. "No wonder she ended up with some loser who's lost the plot." Then, stepping close to Vicky, Joel threatened, "Listen to me very carefully. Don't you ever embarrass me again like you did today. Do you understand?" Terrified, Vicky was left frozen as he walked away. Fans immediately rushed to social media, with one writing on X, formerly Twitter, "That final scene with Joel and Vicky turned so dark so fast. I honestly think Joel's going to hurt her." Another added, "Thank God Sharon's back on Monday. If anyone can cut through to Joel, it might be her." A third pleaded, "Can someone please knock some sense into Joel? I don't care who it is, just hurry up." But Joel wasn't the only source of fear tonight. Across the square, the Vic descended into chaos when Kat, Zoe, and Stacy agreed to hand Greg money in exchange for their safety. During the tense showdown, Greg ended up unconscious again, with Zoe telling Jack and Ravi that he was the one who shot her, not knowing that Jack had accidentally pulled the trigger. Jack and Ravi seized on the claim, hoping it would cover up their own mistakes. The drama escalated further when Tommy stumbled into the pub mid-standoff, just as Greg was brandishing a knife at the Slaters. He dashed out to get help, interrupting Jack and Ravi as they argued outside. Later, when Joel asked Tommy how he'd handled the situation, the boy lied. "I lamped him, hit him a few times." "Good lad, protecting your family. I'm proud of you," Joel replied with approval. But what will happen when Joel uncovers the real story, and how far is his behavior set to spiral? EastEnders continues Monday to Thursday at 7:30 p.m. on BBC One and BBC iPlayer.